Next up, marketing strategies will undoubtedly vary from operation to operation. Regardless of what crops you're going to sow and harvest, having a plan in place for marketing is always a step in the right direction. This week, Market Journal's Bill Dodd sat down with Ag Econ Extension educator Robert Tigner to discuss a few best management practices that can help producers implement their marketing plan. Bill, what have you got for the folks at home this week?
Thanks, Troy. You know, there's an old adage that failing to plan is planning to fail. The unknown variables of any given marketing year can be numerous and often unpredictable. Whether it's crop size, demand, weather events, or trade impacts, every bit of uncertainty adds up in the end, and utilizing these best practices to put the most advantageous marketing plan in place is a good place to start.
Implementing a few best management practices in your marketing plan can help reduce some of the frustrations of marketing, according to Extension educator Robert Tigner. There are 5 basic practices any given producer should follow when marketing their crop. The first 2 center around the current market fundamentals, and this includes knowing your local basis history, as well as taking advantage of free public information and marketing services concerning crop ratings and export pace.
There's this psychology that develops into the marketplace when yield or expected ratings go up. When crop ratings go up, you expect that there's a larger yield, and then you build from that probably a lower price level that is expected after harvest. Export pace shows us part of the demand equation, and if that starts to slow, you start to see a reason for lower prices in the future as well. Basis also indicates to us whether or not there is a large supply locally, and if we should be storing that supply, or if the basis is fairly narrow, it gives us an indication that supply is tight locally. Those are local indications of supply conditions. Basis gives us that local indication of supply conditions.
Basis will also have a strong bearing on your storage plans as well. 2 main bits of information are necessary in determining if storage can boost your net income. 1, the difference in grain prices between delivery, and 2, the cost of storage in long-term versus short-term.
Storage can be useful because we want to get past the low period for basis at the harvest time period, and we want to get past that. We see basis get narrower, and then when that narrowing happens, then we want to make some sales. A large crop nationwide or a large crop just locally, that's part of what you're going to pay attention to as well. A large crop locally will widen out the basis, and you're going to probably want to store until that time period is passed. When basis narrows up again, and then you may sell at that point.
One of the most important figures your marketing plan should include is the cost of production. A sufficient understanding of your expected full production cost and cash flow expenditures are a big piece of the puzzle in creating a robust pre-harvest marketing plan.
What that includes are all out-of-pocket items, all cash flow items that you're going to need to continue to farm. We want to meet all our cash flow needs, which includes principal payments on all those items that don't necessarily get included in the economic cost of production, but we want to include all those principal payments, family living, for our taxes, all of those items that are cash costs to us. We want to include that so we know what we need to pay or what we need out of a crop that we produce to meet those cash flow needs.
Like anything in life, contingency is key when formulating your marketing plan. One of the biggest advantages you can have in marketing your crops is going to be your ability to roll with the punches and at least be somewhat prepared for the inevitable and unforeseen supply and or demand shocks to the market.
Ah yes, adjusting your market plan. An excellent example, a year ago when tariffs were applied to U.S. soybeans, that is what's called a demand shock. We didn't really anticipate that would occur, but it did. So at that point, you need to adjust your marketing plan. What your expectations are for price, what your expectations are for demand, and reduce or change. Sometimes you might increase your price expectations, like in 2012. But those kinds of demand and supply shocks give us the opportunity, or should give us the opportunity, to adjust our marketing parameters, our expectations for price, and possibly slow down or speed up our plan, or change so that we have a storage plan in place before we really experience that large crop.
Robert also tells me that the best management practices help in developing a marketing plan that meets the needs of a producer, including cash flow as well as timing and profitability of a farming business. And follow-through after marketing development is necessary for a business to realize the benefits from it. Now, if you'd like more marketing and farm business insights from Robert, be sure to follow his work on Nebraska Institute of Agriculture and Natural Resources CropWatch at cropwatch.unl.edu. And that's what I've got my eye on this week. I'll send it back to you, Troy.